Good day everyone, we are the Group 4 and for today, we are going to continue the remaining topics in Chapter 6. Let's proceed with building the customer scorecard. The first thing you need to do in building the customer scorecard is knowing what to measure. It is important to take the proper customer measures in order for you and your employees to take the right actions, stay on the right track, and avoid mistakes. So what do we mean by right measures? These are the measures that really do matter for you and your organization, as well as measures your customers are concerned with. How can you select the right measure? The answer is by focusing on factors like quality of your products and services. Does it meet or exceed the expectations of your customers? And then the cost. Is it affordable compared to competitors? And the speed of delivery. Is it on time? Say, for example, level of customer satisfaction and loyalty. Take note that the measurement, review, and analysis should be constant to prevent overlooking any key measures. So there are 3 different levels for building the customer-led scorecard. This includes strategic, operational, and tactical levels. These 3 levels must be connected to each other. Say, for example, if a measure at the tactical level is irrelevant, it will then affect a measure at the operational level. Then, if a measure at the operational level is affected by a change, it will also impact a measure at the strategic level. This is like a domino effect, wherein a change in one level affects other levels. Keep in mind that the measures in tactical level are the leading indicators for mistakes. Take corrective actions once you spot those mistakes from the tactical level so that it will not impact your operational and strategic levels. You have to ensure that you address first all the unrelated measures to achieve consistent objectives and goals. How? Again, by constant measurement, review, and analysis. Now, let's talk about the strategic level scorecard. The things you need to remember about the strategic level scorecard is that it should involve your long-term goals in at least 3 to 5 year time frames. For example, increase the total profit of your organization by 20%. So using a matrix will help you assess your strategic level goals and objectives, whether they are aligned with the tactical and operational level goals. By looking at your lecture, on page 104, you can see the table for the strategic level scorecard. And the left column are the examples of key measures for the customer scorecard, while on the right column are the long-term strategic goals that the organization wants to achieve. That would be all. Thank you.
In continuation, to create a strategic level scorecard for customer-led, you have to do the following. First is to take a look at your markets. This is important for the company by looking at the markets you serve will help you to develop your market strategies. Begin with knowing if your market for a product or service is in a rapid growth period or in decline. Through this, it will help you to identify what are the appropriate measures for those strategies for your product or service and your scorecard. For example, your market is in a declining stage, but the market strategies that you were following is for the growth market. So there is no point. It won't bring any help, but instead will worsen the situation. Second, answer the basic question of where you want to be as a company. This will help you to know the things you need to work out in order for you to set the goals and objectives of the company. Because if you don't know what is your plan or goal for the company, it looks like your business is no direction at all. The example of basic questions is, do you want to be an industry leader far ahead of the competition, or rather be a fast follower in the market by letting others do the expensive research and development work and then jumping in after the products and services are developed and proven? Next, relate the answer of the previous question to your product, services, and customer base. Here, relating your answer as where you want to be as a company will determine what impact the answers you develop will have as it is aligned on your strategies and strategic goals and measure for your products, services, and customer base. Lastly, compare how you stack up against the competition. Will keep your customer attention that resulting in a competitive edge over others. by answering questions like what strategies is your competition following and where do you need to be related to them? What your competition is doing will influence and impact your strategic decision and your scorecard measures. Let's move on with the next topic, operational level scorecards. The scorecards you build for the operational level should typically cover a 1-year time frame and contain your annual operating plans, plan goals, and objectives. And these goals and objectives must tie directly to your strategic level scorecard in order for you to know how much each operational objective will contribute to your higher level objectives, which is essential. As what you can observe to the example given in the figure 6 to 3, customer-led scorecard with operational measures, wherein the key measure increased retention rate in the 3-year strategic goal is 90%, while the annual operation goal is 75%, and so on. That will be all. Thank you. In continuation,
Good day! Now that you guys already know the strategic as well as the operational level scorecard in the customer perspective, I will now explain to you the lower part, which is the tactical level scorecard. Yes, it is the lower level because it is under the strategic and operational level. Actually, they are connected, and operational serve as the link between the strategic and tactical level. So now, let me define the tactical level scorecard. When we hear about tactics, this is how you make it real or implement the goals and objectives by means of action performed on a daily basis. These tactical levels involve all the short-term activities. It is used to achieve specific objectives, unlike the strategic, the broader one. But that specific objective is still aligned to the operational and strategic level. This tactical level is dependent on the operational, and the operational is dependent on the strategic level. As I've said, it involves short-term activities, and all the short-term doings that works here and now, they will deliver towards this strategy, and together, they will take you to the objectives and goals. And that's how it works. So meaning, if there is an error on the tactical level, it will surely affect the operational as well as the strategic level because they are connected. That's why these tactical level scorecards and their measures serve as your early warning signals to the two levels. As you can see in the table, the measures are by quarters. If the strategic goal is by 3 years, operational goal is by year, tactical goal is by quarter. And we all know that there are 4 quarters in 1 year. So meaning every 3 months, there are specific goals that must be achieved. So try to look at this picture. The tactical goals in the customer perspectives are in the 3rd column and the actual performance is in the 4th column. And these data are the basis for the trend. Let's move on to the analyzing a scorecard and determining a course of action. So after the making a balanced scorecard in the customer leg, the process is not yet done. We need to analyze carefully and determine what kind of actions we are going to take in order to achieve each goals. All the decisions and actions must be analyzed critically to make sure that it is in the right path or it is aligned to the set goals. That's all. Thank you.
Knowing which way to go. In analyzing your scorecard, you must start asking questions. So to help you with those questions, you need to use a checklist. This checklist can help you review the process of analyzing your scorecard. In addition to analyze the customer scorecard, you have to collaborate with people and teams as well as with your customers since they are part of the scorecard. You don't have to do it with yourself. It is better to work with the people involved. So here is an example of checklist that will help you analyze your customer scorecard. The checklist is contained of questions that are related with your scorecard. With this checklist, what you are going to do is to put check on the blank space beside the yes or no options. This explains that if you put check on the yes section, it means that your scorecard possesses what the question is pertaining and no if otherwise. If you answer yes to the questions, it means that those points are achieved in your customer scorecard. On the other hand, if your answers are no, it means that those points need corrective actions. So to solve the problem, what you are going to do is to review and possibly revise each questions below the point where you answered no to get back on the track. For example, in number 4, the question was, do we have the right measures and objective for our customer strategies? Let's say you answered no. This means that you failed to have the right objectives and measures for your customer strategies. So this is the time to have corrective actions necessary to get back on track. The corrective action is to revise the operational and tactical measures and objectives to ensure the proper alignment with your customer strategies. Another example, you answered no to number 7, wherein the question was, do we have the right operational customer measures and objectives? Same with what you have done in the first example, it needs corrective actions. So in this example, you have to review and revise tactical level measures and objectives to get back on the track. Take note that changes in one level of scorecard also affects to the other levels. So therefore, with the help of the checklist, you would find out if you failed or succeed with your goals and objectives laid in your customer scorecard. It will help you on how to figure out the direction you should take and making sure that you stay on course.
Making sure you stay on course. After the process of building your customer scorecard, it's important to stay on the right course. That is why we use the scorecard to manage and lead the organization, and use them to stay on the right track to hit the goals and objectives that you set. If you're failing to hit the goals and objectives that you set on your scorecard, you can go back and check the checklist that you made previously. Answer the questions again and review it. If you think you failed, then you must make corrective actions. For example, you want to reduce customer complaints at 20%, but your customer scorecard shows that you have 45% of customer complaints. So the question is, why? By doing some analysis, inspection, and investigation, you discover that your measure for your customer service is not enough than what it needs to be. The reason to this is that maybe the policies or procedures you've set needs to be changed so your service people can provide excellent customer service to the customers and reduce complaints. Or maybe your service people doesn't follow the policies and procedures that you've set. So there is a known process or method that you can use to help determine the main reason or cause of the problem. That process or method is called 5 whys. This method is simple and effective. When a problem occurs, you drill down to root cause by asking the question why 5 times. This method helps you find the root cause of any problem and protect the process from recurring mistakes and failures. Remember, do not carelessly blame your people if some problem occurs. Trust your people that they do their job the best that they can. Check the processes and your system first before blaming them.